last time. We got the engine side all installed. It's all kind of tucked away nicely. The only things we haven't done is the stuff that kind of runs to the bottom of the car. The starter and transmission stuff. That's kind of all run where it needs to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on the inside and start doing the stuff on this side of the firewall. Like mounting up the fuse box and the ECU and the throttle control, as well as the OBD2. Now, easiest way to do this, I think, is going to be to open up the dash for the 100th time and remove the AC components and just kind of tuck everything up in there. Where I'm not using air conditioning, it's really going to be the easiest place to put it. So, let's go ahead and get to work. Update, got the dash pulled apart, all the wires exposed once again, and I have my throttle module mounted back up there, and I have the body control module mounted up on the side of the dash. So now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take the computer, kind of mount it up where the old computer was for the Volvo. Tuck that back out of the way. Whatever. And then I'll mount the fuse box just off to the side of the AC unit. Run my wire into the key-on. And I'll also try to run the OBD2 over here, kind of sit kind of close to my switch. And then we'll see what happens from there. I don't like to film myself wiring because wiring is my least favorite thing to do, and my stuff is very amateurish. So I like to do it 2 or 3 times, make a lot of mistakes, make it really good, and then do an update. So, update. It's in. My computer's hanging out here. I'll get that plugged in later. Body control module is kind of up here. Everything's kind of just tucked away. I have my fuse box and my relays mounted underneath the dash. Then I have it hooked up to my computer thing, where now switch number 2 is going to be switched power for the harness. So starting the car, it'll be main power, harness power, fuel pump, start the car. And then, right, I have my ground back in there. So now all that's left is to hook up the computer, which I'm not going to do because I need to send it in to get VATs deleted. And generally I want to hook up a battery first and like test power probe all my connections so I don't accidentally blow up my computer. Over here is the old mounting bracket for the Volvo computer, and what I've done is I've taken this arm, it used to be down here, I've bent it out, so now there's a little hook on it. Grab the computer. So now I can take the computer, just kind of shimmy it up inside, set it down on the bracket, and pinch it into that hook, and it holds itself up. Better yet, it fits behind this body panel, completely out of sight. This computer mounting place works out way better than it ever did underneath the hood. So that's wiring, pretty much all set up. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the dash open for a bit because I have some testing to do with this new harness. And these last couple of connections up here on the engine side all kind of require the car to be up in the air. So I'm going to leave that for another time because I'm kind of running short on time today. Things are kind of busy. But I did get the grommet in. That's just a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, there's a grommet in. So that's one hole plugged, and ooh, that punched straight through. Whatever, that's fine. So yeah, that's kind of the car. Alright, welcome back everybody, we're back at it. Oh, I guess this is actually technically part 2, because didn't get a lot of filming done last week. So, part 2, here we go. Quick updates. Computer mount's done. Computer hookups are done. Probably just gotta do a little bit of cleaning up. I gotta plug the throttle pedal back in, but that'll come here in a second. I also need to mount the OBD2 port. That won't be a big fight. I can get that here in a second. I need to finish this stuff down by the starter and the transmission. I need to get myself a new clamp to mount up my air filter and figure out a way to like mount this more sturdily, because this has a tendency to drift down towards the belt. So I gotta figure out a way I can like suck it out and not quite have it so close to the belts. Gotta figure out like I'm gonna do like a mount or figure out if I like put this up here so it like pushes itself out, or just something like that. We'll figure it out when we get there. Also, you can kind of see the puddle beneath the car. I have a huge power steering leak. That's because of this fitting right here. I thought before that, before the Volvo hose and Chevy pumps worked together quite nicely, because this one did. However, turns out that it doesn't. So that's where I got this guy from. This is the Volvo half of the power steering line, and that is the Chevy half of the power steering line. I'm trying to remember, Eric's North America down Springville built me this custom hose that should work just swimmingly in the swap. And something else I did this week, and notice my computer is in this box, so it's getting shipped off to a tuner. So in 2 to 3 weeks I should have a computer back with the VATs deleted, and it should also be tuned to run for a standalone harness. So this guy is going to run a lot healthier, a lot faster with this tuned computer. And that is where I left off. Also, really quick before I forget, I got a battery for the Volvo. Shout out to Autotech Automotive for getting me a good deal on that. Step 1, let me install this power steering line. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. I got distracted, forgot to film. Long story short, interior is pretty much all back together. I gotta figure out a good place for my OBD2 port, and that pretty much wraps up the interior, because I suck at filming. Okay, update. It's really freaking hot out here. Got an air intake in, pretty much put together. Computer shipped and out, should be back about 2 weeks or so. Still gotta lift up the car, plug the stuff in underneath, and do the welding on the frame. But I might do that next week. Progress was made. Interior. Oh, I got some stuff I gotta do on the interior. Let's do the interior stuff real quick. throttle controller. That gets plugged in right there. Just like that. And I'll pull that wire out of the way. And tuck this carton back in. We'll have to zip tie that or something. Whatever that is. The OBD2 port is mounted. That'll work just fine right there. I'll put the switch panel back on. That's what I'll do right now. Alright, switches are back. And that is all the interior, except for the computer, because that is on its way to Nebraska. I've pretty much run out of things to do, except for things I gotta do by lifting the car up. Like I gotta do some welding on the inner side, I gotta do some wiring on the inner side, right? I don't really want to do that today. I'm all out of energy for it. It's too hot. So I'll just go ahead and wrap it up. I didn't film it, but I test fit my battery and it fits exactly in my battery box. Power steering line is in. Interior electrical is all done. Interior is all back together. ECU is sent off to be tuned, ready for a startup. So as soon as that computer gets back, we're ready for a first start. I recognize this is like the 7th time I've said it, but now I should actually be ready for a 7th start. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll keep updating the video as we get closer and closer to starting it up. As soon as that computer comes in, I'll let you guys know. We'll throw it in, we'll throw the battery in, see if we can get a good start out of it. Till next time, see you guys later.